am helping lots and lots of people with the modalities and the information that I have learned along the way. So I'm going to start with talking about this 4-week program that I've got going on come January, and that is a 4-week jumpstart to get you into the new year. And a lot of times, many of us, we have the best of intentions to get going and keep moving on our New Year's resolutions, the goals that we've set out for ourselves. But sometimes that willpower that we have within us isn't always enough. So I've created this 4-week program to help support you further on the subconscious so we can shift things from the inside out to keep you moving on that course going forward, to getting you through those actions that you need to take and to keep that ball rolling into 2018. So I do use the BodyTalk healthcare system, and for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it is a healthcare system that is 20 some odd years old. It was developed in the 1990s, and it's a compilation of numerous ancient and healing modalities, and I essentially tune in to the energy of the group and find out what things are ready to pack their bags and leave. Okay, we're looking at what kind of shifts and changes are we as a group ready for? So the system, the BodyTalk healthcare system, is supported in science, even though it may seem a little non-traditional in its approach. It is backed by science, and as a matter of fact, a few years ago in Australia, it was recognized by the government as a form of healthcare reimbursable under private healthcare insurance. So, and means are underway right now to continue that and grow that into other countries as well. So we are going to be doing great upgrades to the BodyMind, and I've got a little mini group session in store for everyone who's either watching live today or who is going to be watching via replay. And I'm just going to ask, before we get into that, that you just do a little self-evaluation. I'm going to have you close your eyes. Hey, Reese. I'm going to have everybody close their eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths. And I just want you to pay attention. How does the breath feel? Does it feel restricted? How do you feel? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel worried? Or what? Just take inventory of what it is that you feel and how your breath is, if it feels restricted at all. Put your hands on your rib cage like this, okay? Take a nice full breath in and let it out. If your check to see if your fingers are moving with your ribs. Okay? Take one of your arms, raise it up, just nice and slow, and see where you start to feel tension, where your muscles are starting to kind of squawk back about whether it wants to go any further up or not. And just take note. You can write it down, make a mental note, and see where you kind of start having a limited range of motion. Maybe even stand up and touch your toes, which I'm going to do right now. And see at what point that you start feeling those hamstrings kind of kick in and you get a little resistance in regards to the range of motion again. Okay? And just take note of that for yourself. That's more for you than it is for me. Of course, if you want to share that later on and type something in to the group, that would be great. But that is basically for you to do a little self-evaluation to see if you notice a difference before and after we do this little mini upgrade to your body-mind complex. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this little session. And we're doing this for everyone who is both watching live and also if you are watching this as a replay because you couldn't be here this afternoon. So just as soon as you go through this session and you do the tap out along with us, then all of these upgrades and shifts will happen for you as well. Okay, so the first thing that we have is a fear of disappointment. And that has to do with the times that we've gotten our hopes up. We've been really excited about accomplishing something and it fell through. So, and the falling through is, you know, kind of like of course it didn't happen. You know, that disappointment, that discouragement that you feel when you had something planned, you were really excited, and it just didn't happen. So we are working to break the pattern of those fears associated with things that have occurred in the past. So we're linking that to people who surround us and who are very supportive, whoever that may be for you. And we are linking that to all 5 senses. So your sense of touch, taste, smell, hearing, sight. And our 5 senses is how we experience our world. Without them, we could not exist. And it is also a filtering system of our experiences for things to fit into our mold, into the belief systems that we have in our own lives. And sometimes those belief systems can really limit us growing and moving forward. So we're going to help neutralize some of those experiences. Okay, and all of that is linking to the qualities of the heart having to do with self-respect. And we are linking that to what's called the natural consciousness of the gallbladder. And this has to do with motivation. So again, we are peeling away any subconscious belief systems associated with motivation and having to do with the consciousness of the gallbladder organ. Okay, and we can tap that out. So the tapping out is a gentle tapping over the top of the head. And the reason why we do the top of the head is to engage the brain. We're basically creating a formula, like a mathematical equation, except for with words and organs, endocrines, body parts, fears, belief systems, all that kind of stuff. And we are asking the brain to take a look at these things and to use all of this information in order to do upgrades where we need them to happen in the body and the mind complex. So you're going to take nice full breaths. You can put your hand under your ribs, on top of your belly area. Take nice full breaths, because we have fear of disappointment. And then you're going to tap over your heart. Tapping over the heart is like hitting the save button on your computer. So we're giving the brain instructions of things that it needs to do, a checklist that it has to take care of. And we're tapping over the heart to actually have the body-mind complex and the brain store those changes in our body. And then on a third part, you are going to tap over the belly area. And this is to represent the enteric brain and to engage any parts that the enteric brain has in completing this formula. So we have the brain, which doesn't do as much thinking as we traditionally thought it did. Most of the thinking and the decision making is done by the heart brain as well as the enteric brain. So we're tapping over the heart and over the navel, the belly area, the enteric brain. So we have that fear of disappointment. We're linking that to all of the people surrounding you that are supportive. Tapping over the head, the heart, and the belly area. We're linking that to all 5 senses. So we've got your sense of sight, things that you see, things that you envision. You have your sense of hearing, internal thoughts, as well as external physical hearing. You've got the sense of smell, your physical sense of smell, your subtle sense of smell, the opportunity to sniff out opportunities, your sense of taste, as well as your sense of touch. That's linking to, you can put your hand over your heart, the qualities of the heart, having to do with self-respect. And we're linking that to the natural consciousness of the gallbladder having to do with motivation. And tapping intermittently over the head, the heart, and the navel area. Okay, so that's our little mini group session. Just do a secondary evaluation. Take a nice full breath. See how your lungs feel. See how your breath feels. Does your breath feel a little freer? Do you feel a little more joyful? Do you feel a little more hopeful? Do you feel a little more relaxed? Go ahead and put your hands over your ribs. Take a nice full breath. Are you getting that expansion and that contraction with the inhale and the exhale? Go ahead and slowly raise your arm up and see if you can go a little bit further before you feel that resistance. I probably have an extra 20% of range of motion that I have now that I didn't really feel before. I was feeling the tension about here, and I'm not feeling the resistance till I get about here. And you can go ahead and you can bend over, touch your toes, and it will probably continue to improve over the next few minutes because this is immediately after we did the tap out. So if you check it again in another 15-30 minutes, you may find that it feels even better. You may have even more increased range of motion. So go ahead and if you have some experience that you want to share, go ahead and put some feedback on there. I'm going to open it up to any questions that you may have. If you have any questions about anything that I've done, if you don't understand the system that I'm using or what these links are all about, then go ahead and type in the questions about that. I'm going to go ahead and move on to talking a little bit more about the 4-week program that I've got coming up. So that is specifically to support you in your resolutions and your goals for 2018. So it is a once-a-week group session that is going to start on the 4th, and the last one will be on the 25th. I'm going to have some giveaways with some one-on-one body talk sessions with me. And let's see what else. So there's going to be some affirmations that I'm going to be sending out on emails that people can tap out in between the group sessions. And let's see, anybody who signs up by midnight of Friday, then you will get the additional bonus of a couple extra entries into the giveaways. And the program is $89. So for any of you who have worked with me one-on-one, you know that for 4 sessions, that's more affordable than even coming to see me for 1. And I'm really looking forward on expanding out and helping so many more people doing this group work. I'm excited to see the shifts and changes that happen everyone and helping everyone to really shine in 2018 and take care of those underlying subconscious factors that have been sabotaging your efforts before now. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you. If anybody has any questions, then you can continue to probably type on this Facebook Live even after it isn't live anymore. And you can also reach me through my website, www.regainhealthnh.com. And you can check the contact page as well if you need to reach me and you have any additional questions. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the little mini session that I gave you, and you're feeling a little bit better in the breath, that you have improved range of motion. And thanks so much, and I do hope that you will join me on the 4-week program and have a wonderful day. Thanks so much.